The Epic of Gilgamesh, the Shadow of Mortality. Introduction. Previously, we journeyed with Gilgamesh and Enkidu as they forged a legendary friendship, braved the cedar forest, and defeated the fearsome Humbaba. We saw them challenge the gods themselves, culminating in the tragic death of Enkidu after their clash with the Bull of Heaven. As we return to our tale, we find Gilgamesh consumed by grief, grappling with the profound realization of his own mortality. Chapter 1. The Tides of Grief. In the heart of Uruk, where once the great king Gilgamesh ruled with unchallenged might, the weight of sorrow now bore heavily upon him. Enkidu, his cherished friend and companion in many a daring venture, lay cold in death. The once vibrant halls of the palace, adorned with songs of their heroic deeds, now seemed desolate and foreboding. Where laughter once rang, there was now a suffocating silence. Gilgamesh, adrift in a sea of grief, wandered the grand corridors, his fingers trailing along the ancient stone walls as if seeking solace from their timeless solidity. Each shadow seemed to whisper of Enkidu, conjuring fleeting visions of his friend's broad smile and hearty laughter. The gnawing fear of his own mortality, once a distant thought, now loomed ever closer, a relentless shadow he could not outrun.
"I will not yield to the fate of ordinary men,"
Gilgamesh proclaimed, his voice resonating through the vast emptiness of his throne room. His eyes, once fierce and commanding, now burned with a desperate determination.
"I shall seek out Utnapishtim, the one who defied death, and learn the secret of eternal life."
Steeling himself with newfound resolve, Gilgamesh donned his battle armor. The clanging of metal and the familiar feel of leather against his skin rekindled his warrior spirit. He strapped on his sword, the symbol of his strength and determination. This journey, he knew, would take him to the ends of the earth, beyond the boundaries of the known world and into the realm of the unknown. As he emerged from his palace, the people of Uruk watched in silent reverence. They saw their once invincible king now driven by a quest born of loss and fear. Mounting his horse, Gilgamesh set forth, the sun descending as he departed, casting the city in twilight hues, as if the very earth mourned his departure. Yet, with unyielding resolve, he rode on, determined to challenge fate itself. Chapter 2. The Scorpion Men. Days of arduous travel led Gilgamesh through desolate landscapes, over treacherous mountains, and across barren deserts. At last, he arrived at the base of Mount Mashu. The twin peaks of the mountain pierced the very heavens, their jagged edges cutting through the clouds. The air was thin and chill, carrying with it a sense of impending doom. Shadows danced across the rocky terrain, casting eerie illusions that heightened the sense of otherworldliness. At the entrance to the mountain stood two fearsome scorpion men, their forms a terrifying blend of human and scorpion. Towering over Gilgamesh, their muscular human torsos transitioned into the segmented, armored bodies of giant scorpions. Their dark exoskeletons gleamed ominously in the dim light, contrasting sharply with their pale human skin. Each movement they made was both graceful and menacing, their claws clicking as they regarded the approaching king. Their faces, ferocious and unsettling, bore an intense, predatory gaze. Eyes glowing like embers scrutinized Gilgamesh with ancient intelligence. When they spoke, their mouths revealed sharp teeth, adding to their fearsome appearance. Each had a massive stinger, coiled over their shoulders and glistening with venom potent enough to fell a dozen men with a single strike.
"Who dares approach Mount Mashu?"
One of the scorpion men demanded, his voice echoing like thunder against the mountainside. The cold timbre of his voice was as unyielding as the mountain itself.
"It is I, Gilgamesh, king of Uruk,"
Gilgamesh replied boldly, his voice unwavering despite the intimidating sight before him. The journey had been long and grueling, but his determination remained steadfast.
I seek Utnapishtim the immortal.
The scorpion men exchanged a glance, their ember-like eyes narrowing as they took in his regal bearing and the resolve burning in his eyes.
Why do you seek the immortal man?
The second scorpion man asked, his voice a deep rumble that seemed to vibrate the very ground beneath Gilgamesh's feet.
I have seen the face of death, and I refuse to accept it. I will find Utnapishtim and learn how to defeat death itself.
Gilgamesh declared, his determination unwavering. The memory of Enkidu's lifeless body fueled his resolve, giving him strength in the face of these otherworldly guardians. The scorpion men exchanged a glance, their expressions remaining inscrutable.
Very well, brave king. We shall allow you passage, but beware, for the journey through the mountain is fraught with peril and darkness. Few who enter ever return.
The first scorpion man warned, his eyes boring into Gilgamesh's with a mix of respect and pity. With a final nod, the scorpion men stepped aside, revealing the entrance to a dark passage that led through the heart of the mountain. The entrance loomed before Gilgamesh like the gaping maw of some great beast, ready to swallow him whole. The darkness within seemed almost alive, whispering of the dangers that lay ahead. Taking a deep breath, Gilgamesh stepped forward, his resolve as unyielding as the mountain itself. The scorpion men watched in silence as he disappeared into the darkness, their ominous forms fading into the shadows behind Gilgamesh. The path ahead was unknown, and the challenges he would face were beyond imagining. But Gilgamesh pressed on, driven by the hope that somewhere beyond the darkness lay the answer to his quest. Chapter 3: Into the Darkness. Gilgamesh ventured deeper into the passage, and the oppressive darkness enveloped him. The air was thick and cold, clinging to his skin like a shroud. Each step he took reverberated through the narrow chasm, only to be swallowed by the suffocating blackness. The walls, damp and rough under his fingertips, seemed to close in around him, intensifying the claustrophobia that gnawed at his mind. As he ventured further, the tunnel felt like a living entity, its icy breath chilling him to the bone. The darkness pressed against him, squeezing the air from his lungs, reflecting his deepest fear, the inescapable void of mortality.
This place is the essence of death,
he thought, his mind racing. The passage seemed to constrict, and the air grew thinner, each breath becoming a struggle. His thoughts were a tumult of anxiety and determination. The memory of Enkidu's lifeless body haunted him, amplifying his fear of the unknown.
I cannot let this darkness be my end,
he resolved, pushing forward despite the mounting dread. The walls whispered to him, ghostly voices echoing his insecurities. At times, shadows flickered at the edge of his vision, and he'd catch sight of figures moving from the corners of his eyes, but they vanished whenever he turned to look. The dark seemed to test his will, probing his mind for weaknesses. The passage seemed endless, each step a battle against the fear that threatened to consume him. He clung to the memory of his kingdom, the people of Uruk who depended on him, and the promise he had made to find the secret of eternal life. These thoughts were his lifeline, anchoring him to his quest in the face of the overwhelming void. He knew he had to keep moving, to escape this suffocating darkness that mirrored his greatest fear. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, a faint light appeared in the distance. It was small and weak, but it shone like a beacon of hope in the unending darkness. Gilgamesh felt a surge of determination and quickened his pace, his eyes fixed on the distant light. The light grew brighter as he approached, obscuring his vision. With one last lunge, he stepped towards the light, bracing himself for whatever awaited him at the end of the tunnel. Chapter 4: The Resilience of Spirit. Gilgamesh's journey in this story has taken us through moments of profound grief, unwavering determination, and a relentless pursuit of immortality. From the grand halls of Uruk to the oppressive darkness of the mountain caves, we have seen a hero who confronts his deepest fears head-on. His quest is not just about seeking eternal life, but also about understanding the value of life itself and the legacies we leave behind. Through his trials, Gilgamesh teaches us about the resilience of the human spirit and the courage required to face the unknown. His journey is a powerful reminder that even in the darkest of times, hope and determination can guide us forward. As we reflect on his story, let it inspire us to pursue our own quests with the same bravery and resolve. Join us next time as Gilgamesh continues his journey beyond the tunnel, facing new challenges and meeting mystical beings in his relentless pursuit of immortality. The next chapter will reveal the wisdom he seeks and the trials he must endure to gain it. Honor the memory of the gods. Please like, subscribe, and share this video with friends and fellow mythology enthusiasts. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Take care, friends.
Now that I have toiled and strayed so far over the wilderness, am I to sleep and let the earth cover my head forever? Let my eyes see the sun until they are dazzled with looking. Although I am no better than a dead man, still let me see the light of the sun.